All right, today we're going to be running a blog style type production. We're on our way to a shoot right now at Morehouse College. Big opportunity, work with Dr. Nkosi. So we're going to highlight one of his classroom presentation days where essentially, from what I'm told, the kids are going to be dressed up. They're going to do their presentation and we're going to capture it and highlight the day for them. So with that being said, just stay tuned. This is like my first attempt at a behind the scenes type of thing, doing this vlog style, seeing how that works. Again, one of the things that I'm considering, especially moving forward towards the future, as far as travel vlog, documentary style, and keeping y'all abreast to kind of what's going on with Digital REM. So with that being said, just stay tuned and we're gonna rock out the day together. Let's go. So we're here at Morehouse College now, about to walk into this class, got my tripod, got my equipment, pretty much gonna see how this goes. So we are here at the, what's the center called? And they seem like they have like a little pep rally or something going on, or something like that. Well, to Walter E. Massey Leadership Center. So I wanna meet with some future entrepreneurs, some future leaders, and see how it goes. This is Chris with Digital REM. We're here at Morehouse College with Dr. Leary on a special day with his special students. And Dr. Leary, tell us about today.
All right, well, today is one of the last class we're going to have for this 24-25 semester. So the whole year has been great. The students, I believe, have learned a lot, and they're going to have a lot of takeaways when they leave this course. And today is just one of our regular days where students are going to do a couple of presentations and give us a little insight to a project that they've been working on. So they have the opportunity to pick a wicked problem for them to solve and create a business based off of that issue. And they're gonna present their findings and ways that they can possibly solve it.
Interesting. So y'all stay tuned and we're pretty much gonna rock out today. So with that being said, see you in the class.
All right.
All right, today was a wonderful day. We have production. This camera bag is heavy, but again, we saw the production, pretty much was able to produce for the class today with Dr. Leary. It was an amazing day. Got some great footage, some wonderful entrepreneurs, the future leaders for sure. Again, they were doing presentations on companies that they're gonna start, or the class presented together, but companies that they potentially would start, talking about grants and government funding and contracts and things like that, coming up with products, how they're going to source it, how they're going to manufacture it, the logistics behind it, partnering with logistics companies, things like that. Really deep conversation that's usually even adults are not even having. So it was a refreshing perspective that Dr. Leary was kind of giving his students as far as like the tools, the mindset for entrepreneurship. One of the things that, like, again, one of those classes that I wish I would have took when I was in college, but again, a fresh perspective on it, a fresh look on it, something that they can implement now and not necessarily theory or book-based, but something that's, you know, beneficial to what the current situation is right now. So again, Dr. Leary is doing amazing things here at Morehouse College. I'm definitely happy that he invited me to capture his story today, his presentations of his students, and pretty much we're gonna rock it out like that. So thank you for tuning in and see you at the next one. So today was crazy. I did a little walking around the campus. It wasn't crazy, but I did a little walking around the campus after the shoot. I mean, yeah. After on my drive home, I'm kind of just soaking in the day, like just what the excellence that I experienced today. The excellence at such a young age. The excellence as far as like the thought process, the mindset that's being introduced next generation of leaders. Like the fact that they're thinking like this at, at college age, 19, 20, 21, like, it's crazy. It's not crazy, but it is crazy. I really commend Dr. Leary for what he's doing right now. I actually had a conversation with him after the fact, and he was like, yeah, we are his objective. And again, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm gonna just say what I took away from it. His objective is to break the mindset of becoming the next LeBron James, Jay-Z, these anomalies of our community. He was like, I have my students actually, pull up the percentages. Like, I go off of percentages. I don't just tell them, my perspective or how I feel about it. I show them the percentages based on their, based on their environment, right? Their percentages, and not necessarily based on their environment, but based on just living inside of the U.S. borders. Like, how much you need to make to keep up with inflation, things like that. Start to introduce them to statistics, so let the numbers speak to them more than the emotions. So I think that's super powerful, and he touched on it, but I kind of was asking him, well, does he take them through the process of the secondary part, which is the process that, again, coming out of college, I didn't know. But he's like, no, and I'm explaining what the secondary part is, what I'm talking about. But he's like, no, I don't do that because we're currently just trying to break chains of the primary part, especially with the younger generation. So the secondary part being, okay, these students are learning about entrepreneurship, and even if they work a job, at minimum, he's teaching them like, hey, if you're gonna take on debt that would go to this university, have a plan. Like, have a plan based off of the numbers. Like, if I take on this amount of debt, this type of degree can get me this type of job, which can pay off this debt, but then potentially put me in a position for wealth, or put me in a position at least to be sustainable given the market conditions being like inflation and things like that, right? But I was asking, like, do you also teach like the secondary part? And the secondary part that I learned later on in life being like, you have your earned income, if it's through W-2 work or entrepreneurship, but you have your earned income where you're trading your time for dollars. But then you have your semi-passive income being like, if you are able to, trade, in the stock market trading, what else is out there? Owning a business, like, and actually owning the business, not being the business, but owning a business. Drop shipping stores, fulfillment by Amazon, businesses that you can get where you don't have to, spend as much time as to earn a dollar as you would on a wage-based job or a salary-based job. So again, one of the things, like, for instance, like stock options trading, like something like that, like take an hour out of your day, put an investment in, learn the strategies to essentially let your money make babies for itself. So any earned income can now turn into semi-passive income. So that $1 can turn into $1.50 with an extra 1 hour of your time, or 1 hour of your time. So that's a semi-passive income, which then he's like, I don't teach any of that. I'm like, yeah, that's one of the things that later on in life I started to learn. So again, you're seeing live the processes of implementing that, and this is something that, again, I would share with my students. But at the same time, he has the boots on the ground perspective, being like, he's talking to them face to face, day to day, so he's meeting them where they're at. So again, I know eventually they're going to get to that part where it's like, okay, now that you started that business, now that you've got that salary, how do you maximize that? Again, we've been taught 401ks, things like that, but at the same time, like you do have vehicles that will allow it to grow faster than a 401k. The 401k is a long-term play, a long-term plan. You can't touch it until a certain age. It's more the long-term play. But you have your semi-passive income that can feed into your longer-term play. And one of the longer-term plays that I learned about, and that I'm currently in the process of getting into, because again, I'm learning as well. I'm learning at a different age, but if I knew this at a younger age, I would share with myself. But again, that semi-passive income now being converted into passive income, being like real estate, rental properties, things like that, where again, you're not getting rich off of rental properties. You're getting, you're probably going to get extra $200, $500 a month, but that's an extra $500, $200 a month that can go into your 401k. You see where I'm going here? So it's like a waterfall effect. Like you have your earned income that goes into passive income that makes it grow faster. Now that passive income can be used as a down payment towards a rental property. That rental property is going to slowly create that cash flow for you for $200, $300, $400 per door, depending on how many you want to do, but per unit that you have. Now that extra $200, $300, $400, $500 can be used to fund your 401k for the long-term play. But at the same time, while that is happening, where your 401k is being funded, you are now also able to leverage that house because it's growing in value. So again, that house will be more valuable the year after you buy it, and then the year after that, and the year after that. So it's only going to grow in value. Or again, it's like playing Monopoly. You're just going to collect as many houses as you can till you get a hotel or commercial real estate. So again, it's just like one of those processes that, again, if you are thinking of that at a young age, gives you a lot more years to strategize and figure these things out before anybody else. I'm gonna say before it's too late, because it's never too late. You can be 60 and get started, but at the same time, like if you're 19 and getting started, you have a lot more time to fail, try again, try it out, do different things, learn crypto, learn all of these different things that are new technologies or new industries. Have time to try it, fail, whatever the case may be. But again, keeping that mindset, that strategy in mind, like, hey, from your earned income to semi-passive income to passive income, and then that passive income pretty much funds your long-term play, being like your 401k. But that passive income also, as you grow through your semi-passive income, that passive income can essentially end up funding your lifestyle. So again, that $500 money that you're making for your real estate, that you're renting out your property, can be your car note, or and you might have multiple doors, so that can be your car note, your power, your primary residence, again, depending on how many doors you have. So again, that's how you leverage to get to where the ultimate goal is, to get to where your passive income is funding your lifestyle or funding your necessities. When you get to that point, then I keep saying that's where I'm currently working on. But when you get to that point, that's when you are able to really maximize your time and get creative with what you want to do, what you're passionate about, what your business is about, the thing that you're passionate in, and making that a business. So you're taking your time now that you would have taken as an employee, but you're utilizing that time to grow something even bigger. So you're seeing a bigger opportunity, like, hey, if I use my time here, I can make even more money to put into my machine of semi-passive to passive income. And then it's just rinse and repeat over and over again. And again, that's once you get to that stage, that's when you get into, again, I'm speaking I'm definitely speaking from the outside looking in as far as this part, but once you get to that stage, that's where I feel like you start to get into buying other businesses and things like that. Those different type of problems to have. So buying businesses so you can reduce your taxable income, things like that, but you're not as worried about, oh, I need to hustle to pay my light bill or pay the rent or pay my mortgage, whatever the case may be. I don't need to hustle to do that anymore. Maintaining the lifestyle is already complete. Now what can I do with my time to create more cash flow, to put into the semi-passive income into the passive income? It's really those three steps that you really want to get to. And again, I'm just sharing this because it sparked that in this class, and I asked Dr. Leary if he's teaching that, and he's like, yeah, I'm just meeting them where they're at. So we're just trying to get past the fact that they think that they're going to be an anomaly and make millions of dollars doing it. And I'm gonna just share this thought because I'm gonna wrap this video up, but I'm gonna just share this thought also. So when you have like people that, I guess there's definitely levels to it, but when you have people that are the anomalies, like the one of the kinds, LeBrons, things like that, you have to think, and it depends on my audience, what level you're at right now, but you have to think there is a bigger whale or a bigger fish that can fund that person. So let's say use LeBron James as an example. Like the NBA funds LeBron James' salary. The NBA, the organization, funds all the other NBA players' salary. Okay, that is a business, and all of those are employees. So there's a bigger conglomerate that funds that part. So it's really thinking it at that level. Like, do you want to be the employee, or do you want to be the business that finds the talent that attracts more awareness, attracts more brand loyalty, all of the things that you need to run a business? Essentially, that's what it boils down to. You can see that it's not even used the NBA, but you can see that even with Nike and LeBron. Like, Nike is a business. In order to sell more shoes, they're like, LeBron, you clearly have an audience. In order to sell more shoes, we're willing to pay you this amount of money as a contractor or an employee or a potential partner, which is a tax write-off for us because we're making billions of dollars. Now we just take a percentage and give it to you to get more, multiply those billions of dollars, but at the same time we're able to reduce our taxable income or taxes because you are now an expense to our business. So hopefully I'm not speaking too high level for the audience, but at the same time, like, it's wild is not the word, but I'm gonna use it. But it's wild to me to think that these young black men are learning that at this age, and starting to unpack that thought process at a young age. It's inspiring. Definitely the next future leaders for sure. They're coming out. Dr. Leary's class at Morehouse, man, he's doing amazing things. So again, shout out to Dr. Leary, what he's doing there at Morehouse, and I appreciate the opportunity to shoot with them and pretty much get it going. So hopefully you enjoyed my blog. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a comment below. Let me know, like, if you want to see just be like kind of a behind the scenes vlog style of my photography and meeting some of my clients and kind of like capturing their story and the things that they're doing in their brand. I feel like this is the pilot of this type of content, but this is really a different perspective on people's brands, because as a videographer, as a photographer, as a brand a corporate content creator or a brand highlight person, I don't know what to call it, but as that I see a lot. But now I'm like, maybe I should share my clients' stories and the people that I work with, and share their story and share, their vision, their mission, their why, and get more awareness to, their brand as well as I create content for them as well. So again, I think it's a win-win. It's the first time, so definitely let me know how you feel about this. I don't even know if anybody's doing content like this in my niche, in my industry, but again, it was an idea, so we're gonna roll with it. Let me know if this is something you like. If you like, make sure you like this video. If you like this type of content, make sure you like this video, and if you do, we'll continue to do more. So with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure if you are a aspiring content creator or have a brand and you want to learn how to grow your brand or start your brand online, how to create your visuals, how to do your website, all of the different things, make sure you go to our website at digitalrem.com. That's digitalrem.com. Go to our website where we have our course library. I reluctant to call it course, but we have our tutorials that you can watch the video course of how to create your logo, do your website, get your colors, use ChatGPT to help you cheat the process. So again, it's just really we're sharing also on that tip. If you are a budding entrepreneur who has the ideas, who has the spirit, and has something that you want to get and produce to the world, but you really just don't understand the technical side, that's why we created the Creator Academy, to help people get that first step into creating content. Now again, you might start the process like most business owners. You start the process and realize that it is a lot. That's why you would also reach out to Digital REM if you want to continue to support your brand, being like, hey, I was able to now generate cash flow through my business, but I don't have the time to create content for myself. I'd rather somebody with professional equipment, with a professional team, come in and create the content for us. One day we be able to schedule it to post and do our marketing in a more strategic way than a piecemeal together way, as most entrepreneur owners who are just starting or wearing multiple hats. We're willing to take over that hat of the media production. So with that being said, hopefully you found some value in this video. Hopefully, if you are starting a brand, this inspires you to go to the Creator Academy at digitalrem.com and get started today. But definitely subscribe to our channel, like this video, do all of the above, and I'll see you all in the next video, lady y'all. Peace.